And now the winner here will play the Gators for the right to go to the Final Four. We're all set to go. Arkansas and Texas Tech, at one time Southwest Conference opponents. They played each other 80 times in that conference. Now they're in separate conferences, but here we go. The last time they met, by the way, was in Indianapolis in the bubble in the 2021 tournament. And the Razorbacks in red, they've got it right here. And with the ball, John L. Davis. Trying to work it around, down low. Adu, picked up by Davis, and on the fly, he puts one up. And corralled finally by Brazil. And stepping out of bounds is Knox, and a turnover for Arkansas.
A man-to-man defense for Texas Tech, and JT Toppin is more than just an offensive player. He is a tremendous shot blocker. Arkansas is not a very good shooting team, but they've been really getting a lot of mileage out of driving the ball to the basket. Toppin might have something to say about that.
Chiseling down low, working for the shot, and getting it to go. The Big 12 Player of the Year that Dan was just talking about, JT Toppin.
Well, and Brazil did a pretty good job there. Made him turn back to that left shoulder, which is not what he prefers, but he got it in the basket. They're going to go, Texas Tech, to those two bigs all night long.
Knox, three. Hits it. Carter Knox, 32% free throw or three-point shooter, puts that one in.
As a team, Arkansas is only 32%, Kevin. That's not their strength.
Toppin will move, back on top. Williams will take a shot. That won't go. Rebound snared by Knox. And Wagner the other way. Razorbacks beat St. John's and beat Kansas. Inside, nice defensive play by Toppin. And picked up inside Williams. He'll get it out now to Hawkins.
Well, Toppin already with 2 blocks, Dan, in the game.
It's a three by Hawkins. And a rebound by Toppin. Adu is in there, ripping it away. And then it's back to Texas Tech. And inside, they were looking for Toppin. They control Williams. On the wing, Anderson. And the three and the foul on John L. Davis. Offense and defense so far from JT Toppin.
Well, this is why you're an All-American. Brazil doing a good job. He took away what he wanted, which was the right shoulder, but he spins back and scores. Then he comes right back with the block shot. You play both ends of the floor. This is why you get to be the Big 12 Player of the Year and an All-Big 12 first-team guy and an All-American.
Christian Anderson at the line, 78% free throw shooter, the freshman from Atlanta who played at Oak Hill Academy. Playing for the Red Raiders, 27-8. They were 15-5. Dan, in the Big 12, they come in as the 3 seed. He was taking a 3, and he's at the line for 3.
15-5 in the Big 12, Kevin, and number 3 seed in the NCAA tournament. This is a team that nobody really knows very much about. They're like the stealth team in this tournament.
But strong with a lot of talent, and like we said, the Player of the Year in the Big 12.
But McMillan's a significant loss. One of the real elite shooters in the country. Shot over 43% from 3 to lead the Big 12. And a big loss for him, too, because not only is he a great player, he's a Bay Area guy. He's from nearby Vallejo here, same place CC Sabathia is from.
They go inside, and they try to get it with Toppin. Rebound, Williams. Nice defense in there by the Razorbacks. Here comes Wagner, the cross-court. Davis, he'll drive inside into a couple and lose the ball. It's out of bounds. It's off of Tech. Watch live men's games on your computer, phone, tablet, or streaming device with NCAA March Madness Live. Download now. Avicic has come in. He'll take the place of Jonas Adu. And Avicic has a brother who plays for Illinois, and they pronounce their last names differently. Go figure. Brazil, 3.
Brazil's one of the more amazing stories as far as his three-point shooting. He only shot 25 of them in the first 25 games. Now he shoots over 4 a game, and he's getting very close to 40%. shooting the three.
Christian Anderson misses the three. It was picked up on the play by Knox, and here comes Wagner the other way. Sophomore from Camden. A Visic, a fake, a drive. He loses the ball, but they say it was last touched by Texas Tech. All new Coca-Cola Orange Cream. Classic Coca-Cola taste with a burst of orange and vanilla flavors. We all scream for orange cream. They get it to Davis. Oh, and they pay me for this. Inside, nice twirling move. Nellie Davis puts it in for two.
Well, look, he will back down smaller, weaker defenders that he was just telling the bench at Arkansas, like, keep bringing the ball back to me.
Williams working into Brazil. It's tapped inside, grabbed by Federico.
Name so nice, they decided to use it twice.
He's inside, he held the ball. They have a tie-up, or is it a foul? They're looking, the officials are, they're gonna call a foul, and it's gonna go on Trevin Brazil. He'll pick up his first.
Federico is a tremendous offensive rebounder. And here, you know, John L. Davis is a guy who can take the ball to the basket. He's playing against the 6'1" guard. He's got a 3-inch height advantage.
Avicic gets the miss by Williams.
Williams 0 for 5. He's coming off a 28-point game.
Davis in a thicket of defenders puts it up in a foul.
Darian Williams, 28 tonight. Bad start. And Arkansas up 3, headed to the line.
We're back in San Francisco. Get complete coverage of the NCAA Division I Women's Tournament on NCAA.com as we take a look at advanced stats presented by Invesco QQQ. And you can see the story of the Red Raiders right there.
That's a heck of a stat right there.
It is.
Arkansas is going to put some pressure on that because the Razorbacks like to get out and go.
Look at John Calipari. He beat 2 Hall of Fame coaches last week. Now think of this. He beat Pitino in the second round by 9 St. John's. He beat Bill Self in the Hall of Fame by 7 in the first round, and that's how he gets to San Francisco for the Sweet 16.
And he did it without scoring a point in the one-on-one game against those guys.
That's exactly right. But he's also in the Hall of Fame himself.
Yep,
Got
he
in
is.
2015, I believe.
Yep. He has taken 4 different schools, 4 of them, 4 different schools to the Sweet 16. Davis hitting at the line. And some full court Razorback pressure here.
One of the things to think about, Kevin, is the guards for Arkansas are both big, 6'4".
Wagner has it. Oh! Good feed up ahead. Davis tried to get it to go. Couldn't get it to fall. He gets the rebound. He's picked up on the play by Overton. And they will realign on top with Knox.
Well, all you got to do is look out on the floor, and you can see that Arkansas has got size advantage everywhere. Front court, back court.
Wagner with the miss. Rebound Toppin. The other way, Hawkins on the side. Long shot, Walton. No. Avicic with the rebound. And Texas Tech has gone 1 of 10 from the floor.
And 0 of 5 from 3.
Wow.
We talked about the fact that they need to make some threes.
Knox will drive into a bunch of defenders in the paint and draw the foul and head to the line with about 5 gone here in the first half. With a look at the resume of John Calipari.
Yeah, look, I mean, 33 seasons, 4 different schools, 6 Final Fours, and you just mentioned it, one of 3 coaches to lead 4 different schools to the Sweet 16. Hard to have a much better resume in college coaching than what John Calipari had.
Eddie Sutton and Lon Kruger were the other 2. John Calipari, small college guard. He kind of got his traction as a coach at the University of Kansas. He was a graduate assistant for Larry Brown. And on that staff, they had Bob Hill and Alvin Gentry. Greg Popovich was involved. R.C. Buford was on that staff. I mean, some big names in basketball, and they couldn't get it in.
They stepped on the line.
Yep.
You have to throw the ball in. You can't step in with it, and he steps on the line.
Really? Is that a new rule, Dan?
Well, it's an old rule, but
Okay. Just checking.
For him, it might be new as they get it on top here. Trevin Brazil. And off to Davis. Back to Brazil. And now Billy Richmond got the screen. Trying to move it around. Shot clock down to 5. Digging inside. Richmond. It's fought for, and out of the confluence of all those defenders, it's Anderson with the ball.
You can really see that the Razorbacks are trying to force the ball down the lane to the basket.
They don't have a lot of choice, Dan. They can't shoot the ball very well on the perimeter, so you've got to go to your strengths in big games, and that's their strength, and that is Texas Tech's strength right there. JT Toppin, and especially when he can get to that left hand in the paint.
Anderson got the assist. That stops a 9-0 Arkansas run. Richmond cross court. Knox will put up a 3. They got the size advantage, and they got to take a lot of free throws, which they've been doing in bunches here late in the season.
Well, the first 18 games, Knox shot 28% from 3. The last 17 games, Dan, 38% from 3, and he's made 2 here today.
Overton throws it. It was deflected. Look at the hustle by Arkansas. Oh, they're playing Twister on the floor, and they tie it up right there. It'll be Texas Tech's ball.
What a great play by Davis to knock that ball up in the air, and they're just really getting after it here. Ivisic is lucky he didn't get a foul called on him for coming over the top like that.
Red Raiders will inbound. They beat 11th seed Drake by 13 in the second round. North Carolina Wilmington by 10 in the first round. And the Red Raiders come in having won 6 of 7. Miss inside, back outside. Williams 3. Rebound Arkansas inside. Richmond's got the ball. He's a freshman from Memphis.
What a great block out by Boogie Flam.
Whoa! What a shot by Knox! He took that from Fayetteville.
He is 3 for 3 from 3.
And feeling it.
Absolutely. Arkansas is 4 for 3. And Texas Tech has only been able to get 2 buckets, both from JT Top, and the rest of the team is 0 for 9.
Knox just picked up the foul.
Just a great block out from Flan that starts the break and gives Carter Knox his 3rd 3.
Well, I don't think it's a bad move by Texas Tech to start playing off the Arkansas three-point shooters as a point of strategy, but if they're going to make all the threes, you're going to have to push out on them.
Toppin kicks it out. Hawkins, Elijah Hawkins tries to drive on the fly and on the move. Overton will try to put it through. Williams, rejected by Ivisic. Swats it to the side, playing handball in there, and the Razorbacks the other way. Here comes Boogie Flam.
Well, they're the 8th best shot blocking team in the league. Their size has already been a major factor in this game.
Elijah Hawkins the other way, senior from Washington, D.C. He played last season for the Minnesota Golden Gophers. Screened by Overton. Cross court on the wing. Anderson with the ball. Richmond in the way. Ivisic leaning in on top and knocking it away. Shot clock at 11.
Here's Ivisic blocking this shot. One of the better shot blockers in the country. 20 games, Dan. He's had at least 2 blocks in this year.
Kerwin Walton will check in. Overton will sit.
But just look on the floor, guys. Just look on the floor at every position. Arkansas's taller. Every position.
Adu back in. Toppin will drive across the lane and corkscrew, but he can't get it. Leaping rebound inside is collected by Arkansas.
Well, they're making him go back to that right shoulder. Even though he scored one early, he's not as effective there. I'm sorry, to the left shoulder. And that's excellent defense here.
And look at Thero is in.
Makes him turn. All you try to do with the great players is lower their efficiency a little bit.
Thero right there in the game, and he's been out since late February with a hyperextended left knee. Boogie Fland is in his 3rd game, coming back from a severe thumb injury, and here he goes. Richmond.
Well, Thero is their leading scorer.
Yes.
And rebounder.
And rebounder.
The Kentucky transfer loses it inside on a spin, and it's gobbled in by Toppin.
Also their leading steals guy.
Yep.
And the amazing thing is they've played much better since he's been injured.
Fland. Richmond driving inside. Knox. Ball was deflected. The other way they race. Anderson at the controls. Now in the middle they got Hawkins. On the wing. This is a three and it's off. Missed by Walton. Inside. Thiero has it. Richmond will drive, banging his way inside. He hits the deck. Rebound Williams. The other way they come with Hawkins. And now Anderson. Corner. Driving. Williams, always a strong rascal as he kicks it in for two.
That's his first bucket of the game. He has been great for them all season long, but struggling today, I think, with the size of Arkansas getting shots off.
Fland has it. The rookie from the Bronx, and he was trying to drive, and in the way was Hawkins. And a foul, and 10:46 to go. You can see the drive, one of the heralded players, De'Arian Williams. He's out of Sacramento and a junior and a big factor for the Red Raiders. Back in San Francisco, you see the 9-point lead by Arkansas. They've led by 11 moments ago. Billy Richmond for the Razorbacks, the freshman. And he hits it hard, and he's gone to the locker room. Moments ago, talking to the coach at Texas Tech, Grant McCaslin, Lauren Shahadi.
Coach, how do you settle into a rhythm offensively?
Well, I feel like we got great shots. We've got some to go in and out. We got JT at the rim, got some rhythm threes. Really, Knox making a couple threes. We went under, and he made it, and then he's made three since. I mean, we just can't give them rhythm shots, but I honestly like what we're doing offensively. If we hang in there, we'll be all right.
Really appreciate it, Coach. Thank you.
Wreck 'em.
One of the really great people in college basketball. What a joy to visit with Boogie Fland. Will get the ball, and he's picked up by Hawkins. On top is John L. Davis. Drives inside, tries to pierce the defense.
But John Calipari talked about this yesterday. He saw Adu sealing Dan downside. Calipari said that creates a highway for you to drive the ball, which is what John L. Davis just did.
Williams, who played at Nevada, transferring to this, and he travels as he tried to work his way inside the paint.
Here's what we were talking about right here. You see Adu inside. He's got Toppin sealed off. We already saw Toppin with a couple blocks tonight. He can't get to that one because of Adu.
But that's still a very tough shot. Overton was not in bad position.
Here's Fland, New York High School Player of the Year. It's Wagner. He was a decorated high school player. Adu with the screen on the wing. They get it off. And the long shot.
Well, Thiero's only a 26% three-point shooter, and rhythm or not, that's not a good idea.
Inside the dive, and it will fall! Nice play. And diving for two, Christian Anderson. And Wagner again. Adu trying to set that high screen. And Davis. Thiero across the lane. And Wagner a floater on the fly.
That's really good ball movement.
It really is, and it just multiple driving kicks to break down the defense, and Wagner's been tremendous since the Boogie Fland injury sent him to the point guard position.
It's a three, and it's right down the hatch. Nice stroke. Kevin Overton, the Drake transfer.
But that was a great pass by Toppin. Toppin, everything's with his left hand, but he can really pass the ball.
He's a good passer, isn't he, Coach?
He really is.
Wagner tries to make the move, change up the defense on him. Davis will drive. Fland in the corner with a fake and a two. Rebound by De'Arian Williams. He's got 6.
Fland has struggled to shoot the ball in the 2 games back. He's played okay otherwise, but he's really struggled to get the ball in the basket.
They really need to get the ball into Adu, I think.
Yeah, and Adu's been scoring. Adu and Brazil both have been scoring. They've got to get those guys the ball.
Hawkins to Williams, and Williams a 3, and the rebound is collected on the fly by Wagner. To the trailing Fland, a triple. Rebound Williams. Here comes Texas Tech in the Sweet 16 for the 4th time in 7 years.
They're going to need Williams to do more down here, Texas Tech. He's had 9 shots. They've certainly given him opportunities.
Chipping inside Anderson. Toppin free to fire the 3. Rebound Williams, offensive rebound for the Red Raiders.
Williams is everywhere for Texas Tech. He just can't get the ball to go in the basket.
Yeah, he's already got 8 rebounds. I'm sorry.
Hawkins
8 rebounds.
Looking, that's a turnover. Looking for Toppin. Flan the other way. Thero inside. And a whistle and a foul. It may have been on Darian Williams. It was. The Texas Tech star, the Big 12 first team honoree Williams will pick up his first for the Red Raiders. Wagner on the move. That's a famous name in college basketball. And all coached by John Calipari. Back at the Sweet 16 in San Francisco. Alabama hit 25 threes tonight to beat BYU. Big win for Florida. SEC is rolling moments ago. Speaking of rolling, Lauren caught up with John Calipari of Arkansas.
Hey guys, I gotta get in the huddle.
I know you got to get in the huddle. I want to talk to you about the threes. 2 made threes on Saturday. Were you saving them all for tonight?
No, what's happening? Their offensive rebounding, and we've been talking about it. I was so happy with how Z played.
Yeah.
You know, you were in our practice trying to get him going. He missed a shot. I'm not worried about that. He blocks a shot. He rebounds. Jonas didn't have the energy to start. But we're doing some good things.
Thanks, Coach.
Well, Kevin, just to be clear, the timeout clock doesn't start until he goes back to the huddle.
All right, Dan. Thero is at the line. He did not pronounce his name that way when he played at Kentucky.
Now, when he came to Arkansas, Mike Haywood, the fine sports information director in Arkansas, introduced himself and he said his name. Hi, I'm Edu Thero. And he said, what? And he pronounced it. It was Thiero at Kentucky.
Yes. Oh, up high. Down hard. Federico.
And Mike Haywood asked him why, and he said, I don't know.
Wagner, Edu, Williams on him. Davis has got the ball. Overton will defend. Thero in, out, and off, and out of bounds. Back to the Red Raiders. And now, a look at our AT&T connected cam. And you can draw, Dan, if you want to. Or if you don't want to, you can just watch the replay.
But it's a great screen and roll, and Federico is a guy, I mean, he doesn't have a lot of offensive skills, but he can really dunk it.
Well, look, I mean, guys who can defend block shots and then roll to the rim hard and catch lobs, those guys can make a lot of money.
Avicic is in for the Razorbacks, and here is Anderson on top for the Red Raiders. Shot clock at 5. Kicks it out. Overton 3. Wagner closes. Nice shot.
Well, but again, that was Federico's role that sucked the defense in and created the opening for Overton to knock down the 3.
It's Brazil.
You know, as poorly as Texas Tech has shot the ball, they're only down by 4 points.
Wagner 3. Kaboom!
Well, if you're Grant McCaslin, you're scratching your head now. You know, you're going to back off the three-point shooters, but they're knocking them down. They're 5 for 8 on the Razorback.
And they're 3 for 13 from 2.
Overton, Hawkins, Wagner there. Under 6 to go in the first half for the right to go to the Elite 8. Backpedals, thinks 3. On the wing, Overton. He'll drive hard, take it in, and get it to go for the Red Raiders.
Wow, Overton's given him a big lift off the bench. 8 points already.
He's a sophomore from Oklahoma City.
Leading scorer tonight.
Wagner lurching ahead, stopping, starting, jabbing, scoring.
Well, Wagner is a big kid, 6'4", 195 pounds. You cannot let him get by you like that.
Timeout, Texas Tech. Arkansas is led by 11. Tech is led by as many as 2 with 3 lead changes.
Well, Overton, yeah, getting it going, knocking down a couple threes, which creates a driving opportunity. And as Dan said, right here, Wagner's a big, strong guy, gets his shoulder into you, it's a bucket.
Look at the Bay Bridge. Here is our summary so far. Arkansas by 7. They've led by 11, but they have lost a player, Lauren.
Yes, Kevin, just saw Richmond head to the locker room, but he is back. He rolled that left ankle. I'm told they just retaped it. He's back on the bench. He's available and ready to go.
He's an important player for him. We thank you for that. At versus St. John's, he had 16 points in that win. They go inside the alley-oop and a beautiful floating two from Overton off the wing.
Well, I mean, Overton wasn't even involved in that screen and roll, but everybody on the defense went toward the lane, and Overton just flew in from the end.
Texas Tech began the game 2 of 17. The Red Raiders 7 of 9. Here's a three. Bullseye. It's put in on the play with a good-looking stroke by Nellie Davis.
Look, you come into the game, you're not really talking about Arkansas's three-point shooting.
Williams a three. Avicic the rebound.
Well, Williams now 1 for 10 from the floor. 0 for 5 from 3.
Wagner trying to drive into Anderson with the bump and the feed inside. Knox couldn't get it. Red Raiders come out of it.
That's a tough pass. Wagner really needs to shoot that one if he gets that close.
Anderson the three. And grabbed by the Razorbacks and Carter Knox.
You know, those are shots that Texas Tech normally makes. They're a 37% three-point shooting team. They can't get very much at all to go.
No, and they want those looks.
Yes.
They want those looks in transition when they're open.
42% shooting so far for the Razorbacks. From three, they've gone 6 of 9. This is another three. No. That was taken by Davis. And a whistle blows on the rebound. And the foul on Avicic. And a timeout. Avicic right here. Sets the screen, knocking it in with that shot. Davis for Arkansas. The Razorbacks 22-13. But Dan, they began conference play in the Southeastern Conference 0-5, and yet here they are in the Sweet 16.
Kevin, they actually started. They lost the first 5 games, then they split the next 2. They went to play at Kentucky. Their record was 1-6. They won that game. There's a lot of people associated with this program who think that was the turning point of the season.
And since that time, they have been ascending. Anderson on top. We're approaching 3.5 to play in the half. Avicic is out there. Davis, they got him in a straight jacket, and they swing it around. Williams, three, no. Rebound, Toppin inside. Corkscrews it up and in. Nice play with a lot of traffic around him.
Yeah, they got to get Toppin the ball more. So
if they're not going to throw it to him, he'll go get it himself.
Yeah, well, that's great, but, I mean, he's only had 6 shots tonight. He's their best offensive player. And Williams, who I absolutely love as a player, is really struggling shooting the ball.
Brazil can't hit the three. Davis inside, clubbed and down and fouled. As he was going up and fouled on the play.
Well, Toppin just works very hard, and he gets great position, and then he holds Ivicic off without pushing him. And then if he can get to that left hand, he's impossible to stop in there.
Yeah, he's so quick getting the ball back up, too. Great hands, gets the ball back up. What did he average? 7.5 points a game at New Mexico last year. And now he's a leading scorer on a Sweet 16 team, averaging 18 points a game.
Just to follow up on what Dan was talking about, 1-6 their record was in January. Arkansas 0-5 beginning conference play. Dan, they're just the second team. You talked about this earlier. The second team in the shot clock era to ever reach the Sweet 16 with an 0-5 conference start. And not just in any conference. It was the toughest conference in college basketball.
Well, you look at the teams that they played to start the conference season.
They go down low, and Toppin is there. Always draws a crowd. Adu is defending. Look at him bump and grind and spin and fire. With a nice rebound collected by Billy Richmond, who was out but back in. Lauren told us he was on the bench and ready to go, and sure enough, he's on the floor, and Davis will control for Arkansas. And with Wagner with it.
Adu just did a great job forcing Toppin to shoot over him.
Absolutely right. Not fouling him, and the size is a factor.
Davis, three.
John L. Davis, 14 points already tonight. That's his second three. This is a guy that was on Florida Atlantic's Final Four team 2 years ago, so he's been in these big games.
Good fake to get free. Backpedaling is Walton. On the wing, Overton. The triple is launched. Leaping rebound, cleaning the glass is Brazil.
Arkansas averages 7 made three-point baskets a game.
And right now,
they have 7.
And we're not even at halftime.
This is the kind of a game where you look at the coaches if you're a player and say, what is the deal with this scouting report?
I know it. There were 2 of 19, Arkansas was, from 3 against St. John's. Wagner will dance. Wagner will fire a long shot. With a rebound collected by Adu. He's a long player, and he gets it back out after the offensive rebound.
And another guy who's had significant postseason experience with Tennessee.
Already graduated after 3 years with the Vols. Look at Wagner try to finagle his way inside and put it up and fouled as he was going along. And coming up on AT&T at the half, first half analysis and an update on Arizona Duke. Plus the latest NCAA tournament news. All coming up on AT&T at the half. Walton picked up number 2.
And this is Adu just doing a great job, not reaching in, not fouling, but just forcing JT Toppin to shoot over the top. And Adu is 6'11", so the top is fairly high.
You aren't kidding. That size is a big factor, especially on the defensive end of the floor. And then DJ Wagner, like this guy, since he's gotten going as a point guard, he's averaged a couple more points, a couple more assists a game. He's been more efficient. He's just so big and strong.
DJ Wagner, who is SEC All-Freshman for Calipari at Kentucky last season. Driving inside is Toppin. Not a lot of breathing space. Hawkins has it on top. He finds an open lane and he'll drive. Then the collision. Down he goes. Hard and a foul.
Well, Watkins is a guy who can drive the ball to the basket, but he's only 5'11", and this is
he's going into the trees.
This
now.
is very optimistic in here, and Richmond, what a play coming from behind, but there's a lot of contact in there. Who'd they call the foul on, Kev?
Foul.
They called the foul on Arkansas, Dan.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Yeah, well, I like to be there with the information that you need.
Richmond picked up the foul. At the free throw line is Hawkins, who led the Big 12 in assists and was top 12 in all of college basketball. Who a year ago played at Minnesota, and he was Big 10 honorable mention. And this year, as he goes to the Big 12, he started there and led the conference in assists.
Well,
he's a dynamite passer.
Yeah, he is, Dan. A great point. Against Drake to get him here. 16 points, 7 assists, and 0 turnovers in almost 38 minutes.
Wagner's got it. Razorbacks have been to the NCAA tournament 4 of the last 5 seasons. Coming in having won 5 of 6 and 7 of 9. Ascending at the right time. It's flat inside, lost the ball as he was careening off bodies. Picked up by Williams. It's a cross court inside, and the player of the year in the conference, Toppin, will put it in. Beautiful transition by the Red Raiders.
Do you think he was trying to throw it to Toppin? I thought he was trying to throw it to Anderson, and Toppin just ran into this picture.
Trying to keep it alive, and 36 seconds to go in the half. Here they come, the Red Raiders on the fly. Just before the half in San Francisco on TBS.
Carter Knox getting it going tonight with 3 threes. Struggled early in the year, shooting 28% from 3 in their first 18 games, but in the last 17 games, 38% coming in, and he's made 3 tonight.
Taking a breather right now. You remember his brother Kevin, who played for Calipari at Kentucky. He was the SEC Freshman of the Year. So a half minute to go in the first half. The winner will go to the Elite 8 and play Florida here Saturday night. Richmond will try to make a move. Williams in the way. Wagner will now give a shot. He'll retreat. And outside Davis, a 3. Short. And it's picked up by Overton.
If you're Texas Tech, you have to think these threes for Arkansas are going to stop going in the basket at this rate.
No shot clock, just the game clock, and the Red Raiders will work it. It's Hawkins. Williams, 3. Good! Boy, they needed that. And halftime is here with the long shot. And it's a 7-point game after Arkansas led by 13. And Texas Tech finishes the first half on a 6-0 run.
Well, they needed that, and Darian Williams needed that. He's now 1 for 7 from 3, 2 for 12 overall.
Over to Lauren.
Carter in his zone offensively. What's gotten into you since Saturday?
We just playing hard. We practice real hard, and it's just a good shooting day for us, and we've been practicing hard. Yeah.
I mean, they're a top 5 offense. How do you continue to slow them down, Carter?
Focusing on the game plan. They like to shoot our threes, run real fast in transition, so we just do our best to get back.
Good luck. Thanks for the time.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
He was a McDonald's All-America. He's from Tampa, Florida. A freshman. His dad was a wide receiver at Florida State and in the NFL. And he's flying around like his dad, as are the Razorbacks, with the lead at halftime for John Calipari. We'll take you to AT&T at the half after these messages.
Led by Carter Knox, making 3 of them. Trevin Brazil knocks one down, and John L. Davis has made a couple. If they continue to shoot the ball like this, game over.
Well, but they're only shooting barely over 20% from 2.
Davis will take it 2.
Okay, so much for that stat.
Our second half is underway. The winner will play the Florida Gators here Saturday night. Anderson down low, Conference Player of the Year, Toppin with the ball. Grinding his way, trying to work his magic against Brazil. The defense there for the Razorbacks.
Yeah, Trevin Brazil's done a great job again. Look, you're not going to stop him. He's a good offensive player.
Oh, with a great dive inside, putting it up and in. Adu with his first 2.
But Brazil keeps making Toppin turn back to that left shoulder and use his right hand, and that's just out of his comfort zone.
Here's Anderson, Toppin a screen, followed by Davis in the fadeaway.
They're going to need offense from somebody. Walton hasn't scored. Hawkins only has 1 point. Williams is struggling.
Yeah, to me, Williams is the guy. Without Chance McMillan, Williams is the guy who has the skill, guy who can go create shots both for himself and his teammates. He's got to get going.
Knox will work by Walton and put it down up high and down hard.
Wow, that's the strength of Knox. Strength and explosiveness all the way to the rim.
Out of bounds, stepping Hawkins. Arkansas with momentum here.
Yeah, they've come out and they've hit a couple of shots here. Now, Walton goes out to cover him because he's been shooting the 3 so effectively, but Walton is not down in his stance, and Knox goes right past him.
Look at this, when leading by 6 or more at the half in the tournament, undefeated 35-0. My goodness.
That's a pretty good record.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Well, the fact that you've even had 35 games where you've been up at the half. I mean, it's incredible. I mean, his career has been incredible.
Wagner, long shot, no. Rebound, the leaping Toppin.
They are playing with a lot of confidence on the offensive end, are the Razorbacks.
Hawkins will step back. They close. Toppin down low. The mismatch he wants. And back out. Hawkins, 3. Rebound collected by Hawkins. Sidesteps and drives. And a rebound collected by Adu. Davis accelerates, lurching ahead. 2-point shot. Hit the side. And collected by Toppin. In the corner, a fake and a drive. And Anderson tries to get free. Overton down low. Toppin will try to work on Adu. A lot of length to go against. Tough shot. And a foul. It's on Arkansas.
But they are doing a great job, Arkansas, defending Toppin. They know he wants to get to that right shoulder and the left hand, and they're taking that away. He's making the drop step, Dan. He's just not comfortable going to that left shoulder.
No, he's not. And I thought John L. Davis did a pretty good job right there, making sure that Toppin saw him, but not getting close enough for Toppin to make a pass.
Anderson couldn't hit the 3. Let's see if Williams can. Nope. Missing 2 in a row. Wagner has got the rebound. Trevin Brazil picked up his second foul moments ago for the Razorbacks, and here they come.
Texas Tech is missing Chance McMillan, the best three-point shooter in
Overton,
the Big 12.
the steal and the finish at the other end.
Well, Overton's been their guy tonight. I mean, he's been the guy who's really stepped up, doing everything he can to keep them in the game. He's 5 for 7, 2 for 3 from 3.
He had that big game in the Big 12 tournament with 20 points against Arizona. Driving is Davis.
Another transfer from the Missouri Valley Conference.
My goodness. All the good players in the Missouri Valley Conference and all these mid-majors coming out of these major programs.
Is the Missouri Valley the best AAA league in the country?
It's phenomenal. There are a lot of good ones. A-10 is terrific too, and out of bounds it rolls. Now there's 0 on the shot clock. They're talking here among themselves.
It's going to be a shot clock violation. Yeah.
It is. Get more sports coverage than ever before in the Bleacher Report app. Be sure to download the all-new Bleacher Report app today. Yep, shot clock violation.
Shot clock violation. They're going to need a lot more defensive possessions like that. But Dan says it all the time, and he's right. It's still going to come down to you got to make shots.
Toppin will get the miss by Williams and put it back up and in. Toppin averages 18 a game. He's got 10. And here come the Red Raiders creeping back. Arkansas's got the ball. Wagner tries to pry his way free. A miss, out of bounds. It will be Arkansas's ball. And a timeout. And we've got a 7-point game. Arkansas led by 13 earlier on. The winner to the Elite Eight on TBS.
That was very nice of Ernie.
It was.
Stan just complained the last time.
He did. I know it. It was beneath us, but he did it, and that's... Thank you, Stan. There's a long shot. The 3 won't go on the fire by Davis. Arkansas has missed, Lauren, 5 consecutive shots.
And Kevin, I was just listening to Calipari a few minutes ago. The focus on Toppin. Coach said force him to go right, like Coach was talking about just a few minutes ago. He doesn't like it. He said we're giving up too much on offense, and then he looked at DJ and said, you, settle us down.
Good report. You thank Lauren Shahadi, who normally is the voice of Major League Baseball, and tonight with us, Wagner will shuffle on that baseline for 2.
Well, that's one way to settle him down.
He did. It's a great drive, but again, Adu doing a great job sealing down there. So Toppin, who blocked 3 shots in the first half, couldn't get there. Wagner able to get all the way to the rim.
Toppin, who played in New Mexico last year for Richard Pitino. Now to Hawkins, who will dance on Wagner. Driving hard, Christian Anderson. Skating inside like Hans. No, I'm not going to say Hans Christian Andersen. I wouldn't say that, would I? No.
I think you just did.
Well, I kind of did.
He wrote about skating. Did he skate?
It looked like it to me. And I mean that in a complimentary way. Ball knocked away. Hawkins' defense is a story with the Red Raiders.
Well, here's Wagner's drive, but you can see Adu has Toppin sealed.
And these are some of the players that are part of the Calipari tree, coaching dads, coaching sons. He's been around a long time. Long shot, off balance, won't go. Davis took it, fouled as he fired.
That's a bad foul.
And that's a 3-shot foul.
Yeah, there's really nothing you can do defensively that's worse than foul a guy on a 3-point shooter. 3-point shot. You can't. I don't care how good the shooter is.
Overton picked it up.
His percentage just goes way up when you send him to the free throw line.
Well, Stan, you're absolutely right. He is a 37% three-point shooter and an 85% free throw shooter.
Well, there you go. You more than double the percentage by sending him to the line.
So here's Davis at the line. He's a graduate student. We told you before he played at Florida Atlantic for 4 years. He was the AAC Player of the Year. Then they switched CUSA Player of the Year. So, so Florida Atlantic, and we know their recent history. And he was there, and now he's with Arkansas. Arkansas at the free throw line has gone 12 of 13. Hawkins, Toppin, and Anderson. And coming out on him is Adu. Toppin bumping in there with Davis.
He's going to want to spin back.
7 to fire, doubled and knocked away, swatted inside. Beautiful play, Brazil.
Well, Brazil knew, Kevin, that he was going to spin back to that right shoulder in the left hand, and he was there waiting for him.
Look at the speed of Wagner and the feet outside. It's Knox inside, banging, falling. Oh, they won't count it. They won't count it. It was on the floor. He'll go to the line. But boy, was he rugged with his drive. Anderson picks up number 3 for the Red Raiders.
I'll say it again. They need to change this rule. Referee is right because they called the foul out there, but that should be a three-point play.
We step aside in San Francisco. In San Francisco, a lot of eyes on JT Toppin of the Red Raiders, the Conference Player of the Year in the Big 12.
Well, Arkansas's size has bothered him, but their game plan discipline has been outstanding. They want to take away that right shoulder and the left hand. Brazil there reading the situation coming over. They have been focused and done an outstanding job on an All-American.
And it's really hard. It's really difficult for Toppin because they're only 3 for 19 from three.
Oh, what a great inbound! And the slam, well-timed. Adu climbing the ladder.
That's poor defense, though. It's great pass, great play, and poor defense. No help whatsoever on that back screen.
Here come the Red Raiders. And muscling his way inside Williams. Adu just swats it away. He's controlling both ends of the floor. And Wagner working around a screen with great confidence. Adu's in there. Lost the ball, poked away, fouled as he was dribbling. Adu on one end, Adu on the other end.
Well, there's not really anything there. They clear the whole side, and there's nobody to guard him. And then he just, if they don't have any three-point shooters, Williams and Toppin feel the need to back it all the way in.
Hawkins picked up his third. It's Davis. Williams is on him, trying to muscle. Shot clock at 8. Trying to spin, digs his way, turns and fires. Wow. Wow is right.
That's a big-time move right there against a very good defender. He's got 21 points.
Red Raiders have 9 players with NCAA tournament experience. And inside one of them is right there. Toppin catching and putting it in.
Well, there's a pick and roll with the backside cleared for Texas Tech. Hawkins able to deliver.
Wagner on the wing. He plays a lot of minutes.
That was some catch right there.
That was Knox. Yeah, you better believe it.
that was a fastball, and he went up and got it.
Shot clock at 6. Brazil will drive, slither and slam. Fouled.
Here in the second half, the ability of Arkansas to beat the perimeter defenders and get all the way to the basket has been one of the key factors.
No question, as is the size difference.
Yeah.
It's just been overwhelming at both ends of the floor.
You guys talked about that before the tip.
Well, and here, Grant McCasland is making a change. He's putting both his big guys in the game at the same time.
And even with that, they're not as big as Arkansas is.
But that hurts him on the offensive end because Federico is not anywhere near the offensive player that Williams is.
Hawkins will dance and feed on the wing. Overton, long shot, leaping snare, rebound, Brazil.
Texas Tech now 3 for 20 from beyond the arc.
Well, and you said before the game, Dan, that they needed to make threes. Well, they have not, obviously, and that's put them in a lot of trouble. And let's remember, they are missing their best three-point shooter in Chance McMillan and one of the best three-point shooters in the country.
Toppin off the glass for 2.
Well, that time he was able to spin back and get to that right shoulder in the left hand. He's very good there. That's his comfort zone. One of the few times Brazil's let him get to his strength.
Arkansas's not hit a 3 in the second half until right there.
Well, they listened to you, Kevin. They did. And John L. Davis, look, a lot of guys playing well. John L. Davis, for the first 29 minutes, has been the MVP of this game.
Hawkins free to fire the triple. It's a foul. It's inside on Arkansas at 11:21 of the second half.
Well, here's John L. Davis on the drive against Williams. And then here's John L. Davis with the defense in a drop, knocking down a 3. Arkansas by 16.
Let's think about this, Kevin. They were struggling until Boogie Flan got hurt. And so then they moved DJ Wagner back to the point guard where he's more comfortable. That allows John L. Davis to move to the shooting guard where he's more comfortable. That allows Knox to play. That puts Brazil in the lineup, and they just started to roll.
It's Davis from 3. He's way outside and misses that, but it was tipped on the play. Knox got it back out, and a new shot clock for the Razorbacks.
That was great. Running down long rebounds. Great effort there by Knox.
And another thing, Kevin, Jonas Adu dealt with lingering injuries all year long, and when he finally got healthy, they started getting healthy.
2-point shot, and they're a good 2-point shooting team. Davis can't get it. A whistle on the play. Fouled as he fired, or was it on Davis? It was on Davis of Arkansas, and that is the second on him. Coming up next, Adam Lefkoe, Jay Wright, Candace Parker, and Seth Davis have all the news, highlights, and analysis on Inside March Madness, presented by Buick, only on TBS.
We don't use Lefkoe's first name, Kevin.
Nope. Anderson got it to go.
He's a one-name guy.
Lefkoe, okay.
Yeah, he's a one-name guy. I mean, he's at that level now with Pele and
Madonna.
Cher, Madonna.
Look at Richmond take it right down the main lane, and he flies in there for his first 2 of the night.
He's their leading scorer, as you said earlier, Kevin, against St. John's with 16, his season high.
Boy, player down, driving was Toppin, and the foul. Richmond moments ago, the freshman from Memphis.
I mean, this is another guy, a big guard, drives down the lane. Arkansas's got a lot of these guys.
John L. Davis just picked up his 3rd.
Yeah, and that's a big one. He's been their best player tonight.
He has.
And now he's got 3 fouls.
Well, that was just a shove right in front of the official.
Yeah, that was pretty obvious.
Anderson got it. Avicic is out there off the bench with all his length, and it's a long 3. Anderson, no. Leaping rebound collected by Brazil. He's got 4.
That was optimistic by Anderson. He's 6'1". He's trying to shoot a 3 over a 7-footer.
Boogie Flan, 2-point shot, no. Knox tries to collect, shoved.
Dan, is optimistic a synonym for delusional?
Well, no, not necessarily.
Okay, just checking.
He's a glass half full kind of guy.
I didn't even see a glass.
Well, it's very hard to see anything over Ivisic.
Well, yeah, you aren't kidding. This Arkansas team has such great size, and they're using it to their advantage tonight.
And you've made the point a couple of times, Stan. They have size at every position.
Plummeting inside, Williams will get it to drop. He's got 7.
What we haven't seen out of Texas Tech that I think's been really effective, we'll see if we see it when Toppin comes back, is the 4-5 pick and roll. Williams handling, Toppin setting the screen.
Ivisic was driving. There's a foul. It's on Arkansas. And that is a foul. It will go, Lauren, on Brazil. He's got 3.
And Kevin, last round we covered Zvonimir's twin brother, Tomislav. I asked Tomislav who's better at basketball. He said, me. Then he said, we have different games. Z has a better shot. I'm more physical. And then I asked Tommy, what's Z better at? He looked at me almost offended. He said, nothing. So I told that to Zvonimir, and he said, is that why Tommy lost to Kentucky and I'm still playing?
Wow.
Well, let me ask you this. Did you ask him why one brother pronounces the last name one way and this one pronounces it the other way?
I did not. I'm clearly not the journalist I thought I was.
Well, his brother who plays at Illinois, Tomislav, it's Ivisic. This one wants it Avicic. Federico. And I don't know what his middle name is, but it's not Federico.
I think it's Federico.
I don't think it is.
I think it is.
Tomislav. Played for the terrific Brad Underwood in Illinois. A very disappointing game against Kentucky. Tomislav was hit with mononucleosis, had a horrible bug during the season in addition to mononucleosis. This time with injury and just could never get as much traction. But when he was healthy, they were terrific. Hawkins.
Well, when the ball's not going in, how do you help your team? You do what Darian Williams is doing, and you fight for extra possessions.
Look at Overton inside. Federico grabbed the loose ball. Anderson, 3. No. Rebound fought for, collected and vacuumed in by Federico. 3 off. Missing right there, Hawkins. Federico again cleans the glass. Overton again. Corner, Williams drives. Get out of the way. The collision like confetti on the floor. But they tap it in.
Well, you know, Coach McCaslin has a saying, toughest team wins. We saw their toughness on that possession.
Federico got it off the bench with 5. Texas Tech feels they've got new life. They haven't said quit tonight at all. Down now by 11 after trailing by 16. A fight with bodies on the floor like pins in a bowling alley. Inside, outside, the drive, and they get the news with Federico. Game summary, and Dan, Texas Tech is very much in this game.
Well, this is a team that shoots 37% from beyond the arc on the year, and yes, they are missing Chance McMillan, but if they can just get the ball to go in the basket, we got plenty of time left in the game.
I agree, and the way they're trying to stay in it is on the offensive glass. They've got 18 offensive rebounds, but you said this the entire tournament, the bad sign when you have a lot of offensive rebounds, you're missing a lot of shots.
Federico had 6 offensive rebounds on that possession.
Davis missing the 3. It ricochets out of bounds. Red Raiders will get it. They were the number 3 scoring team in the Big 12, Texas Tech was. The highest they have scored in the last 30 years in their program. And here they come. Down by as many as 16, trailing by 11. Under 8 to go. Hold on, they're going up top for Federico. Federico and Adu knocked it away in the shot clock at 16. And catch an inside look at Tournament of Champions after NCAA coverage. And tune into the new episode this Sunday at 8 p.m. on Food Network.
Well, Adu did a great job there again. He just read that all the way. He knew what they were looking for coming out of the timeout.
Brazil is trying to hold off Williams, and there he is again, Federico. And a 7-0 run for the Red Raiders.
Well, that's how they've gone down the stretch in a lot of games, isolating Darian Williams, and he creates a shot either for himself or his teammates.
It's the sophomore DJ Wagner, slashing, stopping, dribbling, driving, strutting, in, off, rebound, snared inside. It's picked up by Overton on the wing now. Here they come. It's Hawkins. Williams, get out of the way for the big man down the lane. It's a 7-point game.
As much as Toppin's been their leading scorer, the guy they run their offense through with game on the line always is Darian Williams.
Adu doubled, spins, leans, fires, bucket.
Not an easy shot there. Turning to the baseline on the turnaround jumper. Nice job by Adu. And here they go again. They're going to give the ball to Darian Williams. Get their spacing correct.
Anderson catches. Wagner closes. The bump and the spin with the fadeaway. Tap in, try, Federico, no. Vacuumed in, lost inside, bodies on the floor. With 6.5 to go in the half. The winner going to the Elite 8.
Here's Darian Williams. This is what they do, Dan. They isolate him down there. He knows the help's coming. Great pass there. And now he gets one-on-one against a closeout on Wagner and takes the ball right to the rim. This guy's really talented, multi-talented, and is a shot creator.
Trevin Brazil picked up his 4th for Arkansas. Anderson at the line, 78% for the season.
You know, and the guy, since he came in the game, who has helped turn this around a little bit for Texas Tech is Federico.
Who? I caught the last name, so that was enough. Here's Anderson at the stripe.
The first name and the last name are the same.
Yes, oh good, okay. Christian Anderson, originally signed with Michigan. Got out of that, and now he's a Red Raider at Texas Tech. And they are chipping away at a one-time 16-point Arkansas lead. Big possession, it feels like, for the Razorbacks. Whistle away from the ball and down low. And it will go on Texas Tech. And they put it on Hawkins, who picks up his 4th. And we know, as they told us, Hawkins' ability to defend changed a lot of the season for that Red Raider team, and at the free throw line is John L. Davis.
But Hawkins has just had a miserable day.
He has.
0 for 7, 0 for 5 from 3, 5 turnovers.
It's the first Stream CBS Sports HQ, your free 24/7 snapshot of all the sports that matter to you. Catch highlights, in-depth analysis, breaking news, anywhere you are. Download the CBS Sports app and watch today.
Stan, I think the Arkansas size has really bothered Hawkins.
No question. We always think of size as guys inside, but small guards having to see over. They get the switch here. Now Williams is going to isolate and see what happens. They're going to play him one-on-one this time with Knox.
And Richmond. And inside Federico. Look at him in a straitjacket. Pulls away. Got the offensive rebound. On top Anderson. He'll bump into David. Here they go now with Hawkins driving into a lot of defenders and comes up short. And Adu caught the ball, and here comes Arkansas.
You could see the size have an effect on him right there.
There's no question. He's 0 for 8 and really struggling.
Davis has got it as a career high tonight with 26. And Wagner. And Adu, he's up high, and Federico is there. Davis will make a move. A lot of traffic. Throws it up and off and fouled as he fired. How about the Arkansas defense at the other end moments ago?
Well, we're talking about the size, and Davis and Wagner are both 6'4", and Hawkins at 5'11" gets down into the lane and just can't get the ball up over everybody.
Federico picks up his first. Timeout taken. 5:22 to go. The winner will play Florida in the Elite Eight on Saturday. Arkansas on top, 65-56 here in San Francisco.
There's Davis driving to the basket. Sort of goes down hard on that wrist.
Texas Tech with the timeout. Razorbacks with 2, 5:22 to go.
I'll tell you what, though, Kevin, Davis is a guy who wants to score, and he's not going to be hurt when he has a chance to go to the free throw line.
No, and these are his 10th and 11th, well, if he makes the first one, 10th, or no, he is shooting 2. 10th and 11th free throws of the day. He's made 3 threes. He's getting to the line. When a guy can do both things, it's tough to stop him.
The team has been getting to the line over these last 17, 18 games.
Well, over the last 9 games, they have attempted an average of 27 free throws a game.
Well, and this will be their 18th tonight, only 9 for Texas Tech, and they've outscored Texas Tech by 15 from the three-point line. It'll be tough to win.
Davis in the first half had 14. He has 14 in the second half. Hawkins on the wing, has not hit a shot. Williams a screen, goes up against the big, goes behind the back. Perusing the perimeter. Toppin is in, makes a move over Adu, and the rebound wasn't even close. The rebound by Davis.
Their size has bothered them at every position.
Adu has done such a great job just moving his feet and staying in front of Toppin, making Toppin shoot over the top.
Richmond, great pass to Davis. Richmond, the freshman, pulls it off.
And to your point, Dan, Toppin and Darian Williams have, between them, have not shot a single free throw tonight.
Anderson, and Davis comes up on him. Screen by Toppin, 3 by Anderson. Good!
Well, that's got to feel good for him and for Grant McCaslin.
Well, and they've missed a lot of open threes. That one was actually pretty well contested by Adu.
We've said it a couple of times, but there's still time, but you got to get stops.
And here's a turnover. And to the trailing Hawkins, a three. Missing again. Leaping rebound collected by Overton.
Overton's been very, very good tonight, though a little quieter here in the second half.
Hawkins 0 of 9. 0 of 6 from 3. In the corner goes to Overton. He'll dance and bump and spin into Davis. And feed to Williams, who finds two inside. It's an 8-point game with 3.5 to go.
Williams had that slow start, but he's really keeping him in the game.
Knocked away. It was knocked away by Anderson of the Red Raiders.
And this is the situation. Davis has been fabulous for Arkansas. We said Williams keeping him in the game. What a great spin move. It's 8, 3:21 to go. And John L. Davis with 30 points, and he has scored just about every way you can. Driving the ball to the basket, pulling up, taking it, backing in on the drive, making three-pointers, taking the back door. His previous high this year was 24 points. He did that against Texas in early February.
He has picked up steam in the last 16 games. He's averaging well over 15 points a game. Davis, corner three. And the leaping rebound snared by Brazil. Outside Wagner, three, no, topping the rebound.
Didn't love that shot. Offensive rebound, you got 20 seconds on the shot clock. You're up 8, and Wagner's not a great three-point shooter by any means.
Well, they've had a couple of threes go down, and sometimes you fall in love with that. They need to drive the ball to the basket.
Adu will try to watch Anderson, who goes right by him, tried to go to the trailer. He does, and inside the shot will not drop by the shooter Overton, and out of bounds, and the shot clock at 20, and Texas Tech retains possession.
Arkansas has done a lot of great things tonight. The one thing they haven't done is defensive rebound.
Well, the possession's not over. Your defensive possession isn't over until you have the ball.
Williams has it into Brazil. Got it to drop.
If I'm Texas Tech now, and I think you'll see that from Grant McCaslin, you got to get stops, and then the ball's got to get to Williams on every single possession.
This is the closest it's been this half. Davis on top. Adu will give off to Wagner. He'll dance on the perimeter. He'll work into Hawkins. He'll kick in the corner. Brazil, three, no. Rebound, pulled down by J.T. Toppin. And Hawkins in the corner, a three. Good! What a shot by Anderson. 10-0 run. The Red Raiders are on a roll. We're back here in San Francisco. 3-point game. The Sweet 16 continues tomorrow with doubleheaders on CBS and TBS, all starting with Nissan NCAA tip-off show, 6:30 Eastern TBS. And Texas Tech down by 16, trailing with under 2 to go, trailing by 3.
Williams on the drive, and then Anderson with the 3 on the pass from Hawkins.
Well, they've missed a lot of open shots. You figure they're going to start to make some of those open shots. And Arkansas only 1 for 5 shooting the 3 in the second half. They've got to get the ball inside to Adu and play from there.
Maxwell inbound, Adu to Wagner. Adu a screen. Davis has got it, 30-point night. Orchestrating, driving, lot of defense. Look at him collapse, knocked away, got it. Shot clock at 4. Adu corner, Knox, 3, good! What a shot!
Huge shot. He is 4 for 4 from 3. Still plenty of time now. Get the ball to Williams.
Williams a 3, off. Rebound, leaping inside, picked up by Davis. And they tie up. It'll be Texas Tech's ball.
This is really something. 4 guys go around John L. Davis. Somehow he's able to recover. And then Adu makes a really good decision. You know, a lot of guys would have shot that ball, but he makes a really good decision. And Knox with another 3-pointer.
Williams, Anderson, screen, Toppin, 3. Yes! Holy smokes! Back and forth in a great shootout. 1 minute to go. Wagner with it. Hawkins is on him. Davis has got it. Working on Overton. Davis, spin, lean, knocked away. Toppin swats it away. Davis hits the deck. Out of bounds, 7 on the shot clock.
Well, he drives into the middle and the defense just collapses.
And that's Toppin's 4th block of the night.
You know, if you're going to drive in and Toppin's going to come, you have to find an open guy. And Davis, he committed to shooting that ball right away.
Wagner gets it in. Brazil 3. It's picked up by Toppin. Wow. Here comes Texas Tech. Hawkins. Anderson to tie. No! Rebound inside. Gobbled up by Adu and a foul.
Smart foul. Smart foul. Adu, a 63% free throw shooter. They got a good look on the handoff. Anderson had just made a couple, and then when they didn't come up with the ball, they foul a mediocre or below free throw shooter quickly. Still a lot of time in this game.
And it's, of course, it's a 1-and-1.
He hasn't taken a free throw tonight. He's a 63% free throw shooter. He's played well over the last 8 games. He's got 6 points and 7 rebounds and some big free throws coming up. The first of which runs out. Timeout.
No,
there's an issue with the clock.
Oh, there's a clock issue, and they have stopped play.
Wow, that's unfortunate for Texas Tech
yes.
to be pushing in transition, and now Texas Tech obviously can set something up, but
the clock doesn't start.
Gets to set their defense.
The clock doesn't start. So now they have to figure out how long it was that the clock didn't run. And they have a stopwatch over there. They're not going to count Mississippi's. But
they're not, huh?
No.
Okay.
The clock should start as soon as the ball is touched. And they get it all the way to half court. So it's a couple of seconds anyway.
Now the officials have asked to see it at regular speed.
It's not going to be that far off. Maybe another second. I mean, it's not going to be that far off. I certainly hope they take a long time over there because nobody wants to see play resumed right now in this excitement.
Stan, this time on the clock is very important here. The 1 or 2 seconds could mean
be
everything.
a lot.
Yes. So I share with you your irritation that this has taken so long.
Arkansas led by 16. Texas Tech has only had a small lead of 2 in a game that's only had 3 lead changes. And as you guys widen the lens and they figure out the clock, how did Tech get back in this game?
Well, listen, they got back in with 22 offensive rebounds. Grant McCaslam says toughest team wins, but he doesn't mean just physically, Dan. Mental toughness to hang with the game, as frustrating as it was when you're shooting 20% from 3.
They're going to put 24.6 on the clock.
Thanks, Matt.
24.6 seconds they're going to put on the clock.
The winner goes to the Elite Eight.
The other thing that did is it gave John Calipari a chance to take Adu out of the game.
Yeah, now listen, expect Arkansas to be switching everything on the screens and staying home on any three-point shooters.
It's Williams. It's Anderson. Final 15 seconds. Anderson sets. Williams to tie a three. Yeah!
Knox didn't get that far off him, Stan.
No, well, but he got far enough. At this point in the game, you've got to get all the way up. He didn't. And Williams got enough space to shot. I know he hasn't been making shots tonight, but the only thing that beats you right there or hurts you is a three. Knox needed to sell out and get right into it.
It is a 16-3 Texas Tech run. Tech out of timeouts. Arkansas has one left.
The resilience of Texas Tech is just amazing, Dan. Darian Williams, 1 for 9 from three going into that shot. He's now 7 for 24 from the floor. He shot it confidently and knocked it in.
But even though he's 1 for 9, Stan, he is a big shot maker, and you're fine with that.
He was a first-team selection in the Big 12 Conference. Against Drake, 28 points.
16-3 run. Part of it was Texas Tech making shots. I think part of it was Arkansas taking a few bad shots on the offensive end.
Well, and listen, there's got to be some happy people in the stands because Darian Williams probably has a large contingent here. He's another Northern California kid from right up the road in Sacramento. They've watched him had a frustrating day, but a huge shot.
And they're trying to figure out how much time should be on the clock. In the last, if it's under a minute, the clock stops when the ball comes all the way through the net. So they have it at 9.7. The ball's got to be all the way through the net now is when it should stop, and that looks like it's about right.
So what do you call here if you're Arkansas?
Well, look, Arkansas is going to get the ball to somebody with a chance to drive it. It'll either be Wagner or John L. Davis, I think, as the first option. And then they'll get as much shooting around them as they can. 2 or 3 doesn't matter to Texas Tech. So Texas Tech is going to sell out and make this ball come out with an Arkansas team that hasn't shot it nearly as well in the second half. Only 2 for 10 from 3. They do not want this ball getting to the rim. Big thing here, you got to keep them off the offensive glass now. They have 11 offensive rebounds. Don't get beat on a second shot.
And if you're Arkansas, you want to take the last shot.
No question.
Knox to inbound. Wagner's got it. Defended by Hawkins. Wagner will drive and lean and fire. No tip in, no overtime in San Francisco. What a comeback by Texas Tech.
Stan, this is what you're talking about. Wagner's just trying to take the ball to the basket. John Calipari wanted a foul, but
that's great defense by Hawkins. I'm a little surprised that Toppin didn't help, but he didn't need to. Hawkins did a tremendous job.
As McCaslin told us yesterday, Hawkins' ability to defend has changed our team. It's overtime in San Francisco on TBS. This Sweet 16 overtime is made possible by Buffalo Wild Wings. Down by 16, Texas Tech has worked their way to force the first overtime game of this tournament, and the frustration of John Calipari of Arkansas.
Well,
Hawkins just does a great job moving his feet, staying between Wagner and the basket, not letting him turn the corner and get to the goal. The key, though, I thought a guy who had a tremendous impact on this game was Federico.
No
he came in the
question.
game and got offensive rebounds, and that really started the comeback. 22 offensive rebounds in the game for Texas Tech.
And he had 7 of them in only 13 minutes.
Arkansas led this game 69-56 with 4:20 to go. Here comes Anderson around the screen and gets it inside. Toppin. Rebound collected by Brazil. Oh, a goaltend. Count the 2.
And they're going to go look at it.
And they will review.
Drives the ball to the basket. It's up there. It's above the rim, and it hit the backboard.
Did it hit the backboard before
I think it
he
did.
blocked it?
Off the glass.
Or did he take it to the board?
Well, okay. That's a good question.
No, it hit the board first. You were right, Dan.
If it hits the backboard and you touch it above the rim, it's goaltending. Now, if you're below the rim, it's not. But
well, it was. The ball hit the backboard below the rim, but oh, it's a great angle here. Wow, that's close.
It is close.
That is great camera work by our crew, though.
Off the glass, maybe there, and then touched by Brazil.
Yes, I think so. I certainly think it would be hard to overturn that call.
Yes.
Let's go to our rules analyst, Gene Steratore, who joins us. Gene, what do you see here?
I think the last statement was well said. I think it's off the glass, but a hard play to overturn.
The call has been confirmed.
Yep, and what Joe Lindsay's saying, confirmed, and it's off the glass, even though it's below the rim. The ball still has an opportunity to go in because it's rising off the glass. In college basketball, that is goaltending. Really good job. Great camera, too, fellas.
It was by Craig Silver and Andy Friedman, a 2-point lead, Texas Tech, which matches their biggest lead tonight very early in the game.
I was going to say, it's been a long time since Arkansas has been ahead.
It's Davis with a 30-point night. DJ Wagner will position. Brazil's on the wing. Williams will pick him up. What a play. Wow. Slicing down that baseline.
Trevin Brazil has really come on late in the year, showing a lot more offensive skill.
Right, he came, instead of being off the bench, he got in the starting lineup when Theo got hurt, and he's made the most of his opportunities.
Anderson with a mismatch here, and they go down low. It's Toppin. They swing it around well. Overton throws it away. A turnover for the Red Raiders, and Arkansas will take it with under 4 to go in overtime.
Look at Brazil's drive here.
Yep.
Against a pretty good defender and a strong guy inside.
Yeah, but he got himself off balance. He's trying to challenge that three-point shot, and Brazil can shoot it. But I think in that situation, you get in front of him, and you force him to shoot that three.
Davis on the move, into Hawkins. Driving here is Davis up and down! Oh, they'll be talking about that for a while. Toppin picks up the foul.
What Davis draws the defense and gets it to Knox, and Knox has had one heck of a game. That's just strength in there.
It is, and he really has, other than the 1-3, hasn't been involved a lot offensively, but he was ready when it came.
Knox can't get it, though.
And he's so strong.
And now Arkansas with the 2-point lead. And Williams with the ball. Knox will pick him up. 3.5 to go. A spin by Williams. And a rebound pulled off the glass.
And that's the strength of Knox right there.
Absolutely. And I mean, that's the switch that Grant McCaslin wanted and gave Williams a chance to go one-on-one down there. against a little bit smaller guy, but you're right, Knox stood up to the challenge.
Davis inside, defended on the play by Overton.
Adu had position inside with Toppin on his back. The ball needed to go to him.
Wide open three, Hawkins.
There you
Finally
go.
it falls. 1 of 7 from 3, but it couldn't have come at a better time.
That's his first field goal of the game.
Darian Williams with a great pass.
Adu on top. Knox has got it. Makes a move, bumping into Anderson. Swatted away that time inside by Toppin with a foul. It'll go on Anderson, number 4 for the Red Raiders.
Well, here's Darian Williams coming down the floor. Really a point forward type of guy, and just finds Hawkins wide open.
You know, Arkansas a couple of times in this game has not been able to get organized going back on defense. They just lost Hawkins. Now, of course, Hawkins has shot the ball very poorly, but you give that guy that much time and space.
2 or 3 at the line for Knox.
He's an 80% free throw shooter, and when he drops that shoulder, this is an explosive, strong guy. People just bouncing off of him.
You've had 4 ties and 6 lead changes. As Texas Tech has come back from a 16-point deficit to tie it and send it to overtime, and now Arkansas is up by 1 with John Calipari's wife Ellen watching. Hawkins will take it the other way.
It's gonna be
Williams
the same
at the big
thing
shot.
here.
Yep.
They're going to try to get Williams on a mismatch.
Works into the defense inside of Davis. Williams trying to get it. A lot of traffic, a lot of shoving and pushing. And a foul.
But what you've seen there, they can't secure the ball after the first block.
Well, Grant McCaslin getting him what he wants, the switch, to allow him to back in, but Adu comes to help.
And Davis picks up his 4th foul.
Well, and Adu blocks the shot, but then Arkansas can't control the rebound.
It's Williams at the line. 2:23 in OT.
His first free throws of the night. He's an 84% free throw shooter.
1,000-point score. Played at Nevada as a freshman. Red Raiders finish in 2nd place in the Big 12 in the regular season. They had 8 road wins in the rugged Big 12 in conference play, and they ride that success into this tournament, beating Drake in the 2nd round and North Carolina Wilmington in the 1st round. It's a 1-point Texas Tech lead. DJ Wagner. Brazil, Wagner, and Trevin Brazil. Davis has got it. Adu, screen. Davis will make a move on that baseline, knocked away. Williams, great defense by the Red Raiders, and taken by Hawkins. Under 2 to go. Hawkins with Davis all over him.
That was Williams who blocked that shot.
Toppin will move. Adu defending, up and down. It's a 3-point lead for Texas Tech.
And with the right hand, his first bucket of the night was with the right hand, but he hasn't been able to do that again tonight. Until then, he comes back to that left shoulder and knocks it in, but it started right here. Darian Williams, and now Toppin, back to that left shoulder and the right hand, 3-point Tech lead.
Want to remind you, coming up next, Adam Lefkoe, Jay Wright, Candace Parker, and Seth Davis. What a force, and have all the highlights, news, and analysis. It's on Inside March Madness, presented by Buick, only on TBS. Duke has won. Florida has won here tonight. The number 1 seeds winning. Who will play the Gators in San Francisco here in the Elite 8? That's the question. Overtime and 1:34 to go.
Arkansas has played from ahead the entire night. And now, with 1 minute and 34 seconds left, they're down 3, which is their biggest deficit of the evening. Really important for them to see how they can play now.
Well, look, they uncharacteristically made 7 threes in the first half.
Yes.
7 for 14. They've made 2 in the last 23 and a half minutes.
And I thought down the stretch, they settled for a couple of threes. But again, that's why averages are averages. You know, they came back to earth.
The regression to the mean, Dan. That's
Okay.
about all I know about statistics.
You're a
Wagner has it.
kinesiology guy.
Davis comes off a screen. This could tie it from Brazil.
And over the last 8 games, he's been their best three-point shooter.
He has, and he went from shooting 1 3 a game in the first 25 games to over 4 threes a game in the last 8 games.
Hawkins, Toppin, up and down!
Boy, he was quiet for a long time, but the All-American's coming alive.
With the game on the line.
He's got 20. Under a minute to go in overtime. Davis off a screen, meets the defense right there of Overton. And back on top, Wagner will control it, orchestrating with Brazil, who sets a screen. Shot clock at 7. Williams defends. Wagner slices. Got it! What a shot to tie! Holy Toledo!
All right, 4.8 difference between shot clock and game clock. I think Texas Tech runs this down, Dan.
Difference of 5 seconds, game clock and shot clock.
Yeah, they're going to hold this thing and probably go with about 8 on the shot clock.
Hawkins with it and Wagner defending. And now it's Darian Williams.
And this is who you want.
Knox will pick him up. Williams corkscrews up, off, and down! It's a 2-point lead. Final seconds. Wagner with it. Driving on Hawkins. Firing off. Texas Tech has won. The Red Raiders have won in the second largest comeback ever in the Sweet 16.
Well, this is Watson isolated. That's their go-to late in the game. Give Williams, the ball and let him go to work, and he scores. And then you've got your best defender on Hawkins late. Here it is again. Look at Williams. Drop steps back to that left shoulder, uses that strength, and gets it in the bucket.
Well, and Hawkins again, as he did at the end of regulation, does a great job just moving his feet and preventing Wagner from getting to the goal.
Wow. It'll be Texas Tech and the Florida Gators in the Elite Eight for a chance to go to the Final Four. Let's go to Lauren.
Coach, congratulations. Down 16, now to the Elite Eight. How?
Well, you should talk to these guys, honestly. They'll tell you, we honestly believed the entire time we were going to win the game.
I mean, Darren, you told me at the half, when things aren't going well, you adjust. That's just not a basketball thing. That's a life thing. How'd you adjust?
Just taking it to the basket. I feel like my threes weren't falling, so I just tried to get to the basket. Coach told me stay aggressive. Nobody was mad. I was missing shots, so my teammates kept cheering me on, and I mean, it worked out in the end.
I mean, Coach always says the toughest team wins. Did they?
Yeah, I mean, We're going to fight to the end. It don't matter the score. We could be down 20. We're going to keep fighting, man. Shit, that's a good dub. Excuse my language, my bad.
That's okay. I watched you yesterday at practice. Every single member of this team shook all of our broadcasters' hands. What does Coach tell you about life and about basketball? What does he teach you, Darian?
Just be a good person. Like, at the end of the day, basketball is going to end at some point. Coach is good at just teaching us life lessons within basketball, and I think just being a good person is the main thing, and that's a big thing me and him talked about when he was recruiting new players, is making sure he got great people, and I think we got that.
Elite Eight, enjoy it.
Thank you.
Kevin.
They're going to the Elite Eight for the first time in 6 years. And back in 2019, they made the Final Four. Now they'll take on the #1 seed Florida Gators Saturday for a chance to go to San Antonio and watch it again. That put them up. Williams got it to go. He had the 3 to send it to OT, and he puts that twirling shot in for the 2. And a disappointed John Calipari, whose team led by 16 at one time and looked to be sauntering their way into the Elite Eight. But Texas Tech did not stop.